Hey, okay, so I was thinking about my favorite concert memories, and two came to mind, and I'm going to tell you about them. But before I do, I would love to hear about what's your favorite concert memory, or like a weird concert memory, or a great concert memory, whatever. I love sharing these kind of stories because I think when you hear about, bands doing something at some kind of concert or something cool happens, like I remember that stuff when I'm listening to that band, and I think about it later. It helps me like that band or feel differently about that band. So I enjoy sharing that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, please, comment on the video below, and I'd love to be able to hear some of those stories. But my stories are from one, Pearl Jam, 1998. They were on the Yield tour, which, if you know Pearl Jam, they had 10 versus Vitology back to back to back. All, I mean, in my mind, all classic, amazing songs and albums. No Code came after that, which was also like a left turn, a little different, but still awesome. And then they came back to the Yield album, which just had, it was back to their kind of their core sound, a little bit more like, I don't say poppy because people might disagree with that, but like catchy, in a killer album. I mean, so many good songs on that. So they're doing this concert, and so this is in Dallas Reunion Arena where the Mavericks would play, and so this is their old stadium, or their old arena, and so we are like dead center, but we are way back. I mean, we are way back. And but what I remember is, I mean, this has been my favorite, had been my favorite band for all the, I was in high school when I went to this concert, but for my most influential time of my life, it was this band that really moved me. So hearing these songs, that you had known in your headphones or in your car and spent so much time with, or with friends or whatever, but then to hear them recreated in person, live, and they're making a communal event, it was so incredible for me, like, to experience it. So on one level that was cool, but the kind of weird part or funny part was, all of a sudden towards I think the middle of the set, Eddie Vedder brings out Dallas Mavericks, I don't know what position he was, rebounding star Dennis Rodman. And Dennis Rodman is freaking huge. He's so tall. So he's like this tall, and Eddie's like this tall. And Dennis Rodman's the one who always had his hair dyed like crazy colors. He was with Carmen Electra, like a big presence. And so I think he and Eddie were friends, and there's some banter back and forth. And he finally ends up like sitting a chair in front of Jeff Amen's bass rig. And I think he was wearing like this rimmed hat, I think smoking a cigar, sunglasses, shirt off, if I remember right. There's clips of this online. You can watch the concert, but this is just going from memory. And it was so funny. And so it was just like, you could tell that what I liked about it is these guys at that point had already done hundreds and hundreds of concerts. And so I liked that it threw a wrench in their typical vibe or whatever. And they were kind of like going with the flow, and experiencing something different. So they get to, I think it was the encore, and they play Alive. And if you know Alive, there's like a 2-minute giant guitar solo at the end of the song that Mike McCready does. And so, the song starts, or the solo starts, and Dennis Rodman goes over, leans down, and puts Eddie Vedder on his shoulders, and he is jumping during this solo. I mean, just like it's nothing. He's a grown man on his shoulders, and he's getting air because he's so strong. It was like the craziest thing to watch. So that was a little wild. But my other one, the more profound moment, the most profound concert moment I've ever seen for sure, was 2001, and it's U2. I know U2 can be like token favorite concert. Hear me out. It's right after 9/11. If I remember right, they even had to postpone the concert because it was too close to that. So I think it was October, and they're playing at the Frank Irwin Center in Austin. No Doubt opens up as the opening band. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Okay, so then U2 is about to come on, but you can't really, like, the lights are still up. This is a basketball arena. You see movement, but you don't really see what's happening. And all of a sudden you hear Elevation starting, and you're like, oh, okay, but what's happening? Where is it? It's almost like even hard to tell where the movement was coming from. And I'm like, oh, there they are, but the lights are still on. And so it hits the chorus, and then all the lights go out, and then it spotlights on the band, and it turns into like a rock show. And it was visually like one of the coolest things. But the cooler part is later on in the set they do their song One, which is already just fantastic song, moving song, and you see kind of coming up from the sides, going across all the walls throughout that entire song are the names of the September 11th victims that are put up across the walls, just scrolling through the whole song. I think they did that on the Super Bowl. I think they was during their All That You Can't Leave Behind album tour, and I think that's what they did there too. But I've never seen anything or felt anything like that at a concert. Talk about feeling like communal and part of something. That was wild. So those are my two that come to mind. But I'm curious. Like, please, in the comments, please let me know what are concert moments that are crazy or memorable for you. And if you want to see more things like this, where I want it to be interactive, I'd love to hear more stuff from you guys. So please feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.